here I am sitting down with Theron Vines, and from
Pure Gold Forensics.
Pure Gold Forensics. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there a Pure Gold dentistry in Southern California?
Yes, it's my father's dental practice. It's called Pure Gold Dental, and we share the same space. We're right next to each other. He's Theron Lane Vines Jr., I'm Theron Lane Vines III. So if you need a DNA test and a root canal in the same day, we're a one-stop shop.
That's amazing. I'm going to keep that in mind. I do have some friends in Southern California, so I'll let them know. Appreciate that. Theron Vines the third. Yeah, so what kind of stuff do you do on the genetic side of Pure Gold?
Yeah, so we're a forensic DNA lab.
Okay.
We do, your basic serology. We also do some different serology that some other labs don't necessarily have online.
Okay.
And then, just your standard DNA STR testing.
Okay, and so who are your customers? Like, what are you getting DNA samples from somewhere?
Yeah, so being a private lab, we get samples from everywhere. We get prosecution, homicide, detectives, that kind of thing, district attorneys. We also get public defenders, we get defense attorneys, thinking that the prosecution might have messed up on some testing, and we do the retesting of those items, things like that.
Okay, and so tell me about, what's the workforce like over there at Pure Gold?
Workforce is huge. There's 2 of us. So we're a very low throughput lab, not a high throughput lab.
Okay.
But our mantra that we kind of go by is one case, one scientist always. So if it's one case comes in, there's one person that opens it up. They're there to smell it, to feel it, make the cuttings, swabs, things like that. They'll take it all the way through DNA testing, typing, and then they'll also go to testify if needed.
If needed. And so have you been at any of these testifying before?
Yeah, we testify. It's not very often that we testify.
Okay.
Because the DNA reports kind of speak for themselves. But when they're, if there's a question, if it's like sometimes if it's a lower level DNA and it's not, and there's maybe some complex mixtures going on, they'll need an analyst to come in and testify. So it's not very common, but we definitely do testify on certain cases.
And can you, describe for me or think of any cases that have been solved using your guys' technology, using your lab?
Yeah, so recently in the past couple months, we had one case from Central California where we had a district attorney's investigator call us and say, hey, we've got trial coming up, we've got a piece of evidence we need to send out, get DNA testing done, and we need a report in 2 days. So
2 days?
Yeah, so we got the evidence, worked it, sent back the report, and I didn't have to go testify onto that, and they convicted a repeat murderer, and now he's going to be in prison for the rest of his life, so that felt really good.
Yeah, and this is that part that I just have been saying with almost every interview is thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's appreciated because there's so many people that benefit from what you're doing, right?
Sure.
One less murder means there's lots more safe people because you never know who they're going to go after. So
yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for that. And just 2 guys in a lab getting that work done that's amazing.
Yeah, it surprises me sometimes. Some of the, even though we are a quote low throughput lab, some of the amount of cases and the amount of samples we do I surprise myself sometimes. So
working hard over there at Pure Gold. That's great. So, describe for me, how does it feel when you do get a conviction or something like that, or knowing that you're helping someone?
Yeah, it's, the data comes off the instrument and we kind of do a very quick analysis, kind of almost watching the data come off, and we see the data and we can see the match happening in front of our eyes, and it's so fulfilling. Definitely have fist pumped a few times watching the data come off, and we have me and the other person in my lab. We always make fun of ourselves because we watch the data come off. It's almost like watching grass grow, and it's the most fulfilling grass growing that I can think of. So, yeah, it's pretty fun sometimes.
Yeah, that's spectacular. So, in your future here at Pure Gold, how do you see yourself, positioning yourself to grow or to do, even more? Are you looking to get into more things?
Yeah. I mean, we'll hire some more people.
Yeah.
But we'll still keep our core values,
Yeah.
in place. The one case per scientist thing. It's not the most efficient way to do DNA testing, but we feel that there's some cases that just need that extra personal touch.
Sure.
And the other thing is we like to be in close contact with our customers and say, kind of as the process goes along, we're keeping in touch with them saying, hey, look, we got a really good DNA recovery on this item. We're going to go forward with this one, but this one doesn't look so good, so let's not work that one yet in case we need to. We'll kind of hold that
Right.
one. So there's things like that to where, we call it like holding the investigator's hand or something like that.
Sure.
But yeah, hiring, a few more people would be very helpful.
Yeah, and here you are at ISHI 32. So, do you work with any of these vendors that you're getting to see and hang out with?
Yeah, so a lot of them are from crime labs from across the country.
Yeah.
Back at my first ISHI in Palm Springs, I met a few analysts, and there's certain instrumentation that we have. One of
Yeah.
them is called an MVAC, which is
Okay.
it's basically a wet vacuum collector. We call it a carpet cleaner for DNA.
Yeah.
It sprays down a buffer and it sucks it up at the same time and collects anything and everything that's on there, and then it's filtered onto a filter. Then we take that filter on to DNA testing. And there's some crime labs that just don't have that capability.
Sure.
And so when a case comes up, they kind of light bulb goes off in their head, and hey, I remember that guy at ISHI. Let's get him involved and see if they can't help us with these items of clothing where we couldn't find something on a traditional swab, but let's put the full force of the MVAC behind it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I love it. So, I am gonna have to ask you one more question here, and that is, if you were to identify with a Disney character, who would that be and why?
Oh my gosh.
How about Theron Vines the Fourth? What would he say?
Well, Theron Vines the Fourth is a newborn at home.
Okay, so he's probably
he's 2 months old.
just getting into things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So,
How about your wife? She think you'd be some sort of character?
man, probably, but she wouldn't want to say anything. She's a major Disney fan, and
Is she really?
She wishes she could be here, but our newborn's just too young.
Yeah.
But I told her, I was like, next time you're
Yeah.
coming, and we'll stay and spend an extra week.
Absolutely.
So,
That's good.
but yeah, I can't think off the top of my head for.
Who's your wife's favorite Disney character? I'm really putting you on the spot now, man.
Well, her
If you get
favorite
this
Disney
wrong,
movie is Up.
is Up.
So
So Russell,
Yeah.
she would totally like to be hanging out with Russell too.
yeah.
Yeah, I identify with Russell because I'm a people helping people kind of person.
Okay.
And that is definitely Russell, right? He's wanting to help so much.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, that's a great movie too. All right, well, you excited to go to the park tonight?
Yes.
Your
I'm
wife
interested to see if we're going to see animals, or I'm not sure what's going to happen. with
Oh,
the-
there's animals there if you want to see them. If you
Okay.
get out there right away at 5, you get out on the safari.
Okay.
It is amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to check it out. Probably take a bunch of pictures and send them home.
Yeah, they'll probably love that. Be a little bit jealous, but both
Yeah,
a
it's
little bit
okay.
excited.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
All right, well, Theron, it was so nice getting to sit down and talk to you.
Yeah. Likewise.
I wish you luck. Good luck over there.
All right, thank
growing
you.
your business.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks a lot.